are going to multiply some binomials. Now this is the basic binomials. You can tell that because there are no coefficients in front of the x terms. It's just x. It's not 2x or 3x. There's not any x squareds or y. So this is how you would learn it when you're first starting out. And some people use this acronym called FOIL, F-O-I-L, which stands for firsts, outers, inners, last. So you might hear a teacher or someone mention that. It's important to know what that means. So the F stands for the first. That means the firsts in each parenthesis. And it might be x, it might be something else, but it's always the first one in each parenthesis. Remember, a binomial has two terms, so we're multiplying a two-termed polynomial by a two-term polynomial. So these are binomials. The outers are the outside ones, the ones on the very outside of the parentheses. The inners are the inside ones. And the lasts are the last ones in each one. So some teachers might tell you to do distributive property twice. I like to use FOIL, and so that's what I'm going to do here. But you could split it up and use distributive property twice. So let's start. Remember, we're multiplying, so we're going to multiply and then combine like terms if we have like terms. So the first thing I do is do my first, and some people like to draw a little picture. I'm going to multiply that x times that x. And remember, when you multiply x times x, the bases are the same. You add the exponents, you get an x squared. Then I'm going to do my outers, so that's these guys. So that's a 7x. X times 7 is 7x. Then my inners, which is 5 times x, which is 5x, and my lasts, which is 35. 7 times 5 is 35. And then I look to see what I can combine, and usually at this level we can combine those two inners and outers. And so we know that they're both x's, they're like terms. This is an x squared, it can't be combined with an x. So our final answer is x squared plus, that's 12x, plus 35. That's our final answer. Notice there's no equal sign. If there was an equal sign, that's solving. And this is just simplifying. We're just multiplying binomials. So it's kind of that way through all of these. But let's just do a couple more so you can get used to it. Firsts, x squared. Outers, watch the signs. This has a negative sign, so it's x times negative 3. So that's negative 3x. Inners, that's 8 times x. 8x, and lasts, that's negative 24. So now these are like terms, so we're going to combine those. 8x minus 3x, or negative 3x plus 8x, whichever way you prefer. Just watch those signs. Use a calculator if you're not good at it. And that's our answer. Let's try this one. X times x, that's our firsts. Outers, x times 5, inners, negative 4x, and lasts, negative 20. Again, I can combine these. So my final answer, 5x minus 4x is x. You could put a 1x there, it's okay to do that, minus 20. Okay, this one right here, notice there's a negative in each binomial. We're going to add some negatives. Sometimes kids have a hard time with that. X times x is x squared. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. Those are outers. Our inners, negative 2x. And our lasts, a negative 2 times a negative 6 is a positive 12. These are my like terms. They're both negative. So x squared, a negative 6 minus 2, a negative 6x minus 2x. Hope you got negative 8x, and 12. The thing that most kids would make a mistake on are these signs, so be really careful with the signs. So down here I just wanted to show you that it doesn't always have to have an x first. Sometimes when you're just starting out that's what you'll see, but it won't always be that way. So we still do that same process. We have 3 times 11 is 33. 3 times x is 3x. X times 11, 11x, and x times x is x squared. These two are combinable, so we end up with 33 plus 14x plus x squared. And that's an acceptable answer unless you were asked to write it in standard form, which then I think is you always want the highest exponent first. But that's okay unless the directions are specific with that. So the last one, I wanted to show you that there, this has a 2 first, that has an x first, and what that looks like if you have one like that. So 2 times x. Whoops. Yeah, that's right. I thought I was doing a different one. Those are my firsts. 2x is 2 times x. Outers, 5 times 2 is 10. Inners, negative x squared. And lasts, negative 5x. So combine them. A negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3x plus 10 minus x squared. And again, that's acceptable unless you were told otherwise. And if you needed to get it in descending order according to exponents, you could put that negative x squared first, and then put the x term, and then the constant term last. And that is how you use FOIL to multiply 2 binomials. This is M Squared, signing out.